Today I have our friend Ryan with us, and Ryan has a really cool story because he came to us just a few months ago, and he was not in the best position at the time, and things have really turned around for him. So I'll let him kind of tell you about that. So Ryan, could you kind of just start by introducing yourself and telling us a little about like what was going on back in, I guess, May of this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, it was more in, I'd say March is when I decided I really wanted to do the laptop lifestyle. And at that time, I had no idea really what I wanted to do. And that's kind of when I found Jason Capital and Email Income Experts. Was in that for a few weeks and immediately wanted to take it a step further and join his Kaizen, which is his higher ticket program. So I was kind of getting the mentorship from him and doing as much as I could to accelerate my journey to get to where I wanted to be. Fast forward, I'd say, June, I'm at a place where I've been trying to get clients and just completely failing. And I was in a place where I honestly still had no idea what I was really doing. Spent tons of money. And then I got fired from my restaurant job. And that was kind of the last hope kind of situation where I found you guys, and I just had a good feeling from the get go. I had to sink a ton of money in, well, not a ton of money, but I had to sink my last money in basically and use some credit cards to join. And I knew it was the right decision because I knew I had a feeling I was going to get something good out of it. Kind of get it from the guys who went through the trial and error and maybe like fast forward the process a little bit. But I didn't realize exactly to what extent I was going to succeed. It was obviously now the best decision I've made, and I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
Ryan, what were you doing to try to get clients back in, the spring of this year?
Yeah, I was kind of doing what Jason taught us with some newsletter methods, going to local businesses at the time and trying to get clients through there, talking to the owners and trying to interview them, a little bit of cold email, but at that time I didn't really have a good knowledge about cold emailing, and I was kind of emailing up like 500 email addresses a day and getting blacklisted. So nothing was really working. I couldn't even really get people to respond for a long time. So I wasn't even getting on calls with people. It was that bad. Yeah.
So then you started, you changed it. You started doing something different, which was what we were teaching. And can you tell us about sort of like the first time that it changed, like when it all of a sudden started working? Like what were you doing different?
Well, it was honestly probably at most 2 weeks into our mastermind that I started to see some action happening where I was doing a cold email much more effectively, and I was actually getting responses and getting people on the phone, and that was insanely exciting for me considering it hadn't happened before. And all of a sudden I was getting responses and I was getting phone calls, and it wasn't very long after that until I actually got my first deal with a client, a pretty high ticket client, that is.
And that's we won't say who it is, but that's a 7-figure apparel company, right?
Right. Yep.
And you were able to get them on essentially a paid trial, which was to do, a small amount of ads but they paid you to try you out, right?
Yep. And now I've done a couple of projects for them. And yeah, I mean, we have a solid relationship right now, and I think it's only going to grow. So things are looking up for that for sure.
And that was just, had you ever heard of, before we were teaching it to you, had you ever heard of this idea of doing, paid trials for clients?
I mean, not really. I mean, everyone, even some successful people talk about doing free trials. And to me, that just seemed like I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to waste my time trying to undervalue my services. And still to this day, I see a lot of like pretty successful people talking about free trials. And I'm like, well, actually, Josh and those guys showed you that you don't even have to do that. You can actually charge, even if it's just for a little bit.
Yeah.
100%.
So now you're working for this client, you're working for another client, even bigger company. It's a giant supplement company. And so like, what do you feel like now looking back to just like a couple months ago, like what kind of a position are you in right now with your company?
Well, I mean, I'm at a point right now where I'm able to, work from home, and I have not had another job since I got fired. My worry was that I was going to have to get one not very long ago, and thanks to you guys and also you pretty much handing me that 9-figure company through referral, which not many people could say they do for their students, was pretty unbelievable. And I'm at a point now where it's, it can only go up because, I have these small projects, and I'm definitely gaining, like trust with these clients. And it's only a matter of time before I step up with them and get referrals and testimonials and hopefully just explode
Right.
business.
So what would you say to someone who's kind of like in the position that you were in a few months ago where, they've spent a decent amount of money learning a high ticket skill, or I'm sorry, a high income skill, but like they don't really feel that confident that they could do it for a big client, and they don't even really know how that's possible without experience? What would you say to someone who feels like they can't do it because they just don't have experience yet?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was me completely. I was a restaurant server, so I had absolutely no experience whatsoever. And speaking specifically about the mastermind, most you join, you're not going to learn the specifics when it comes to client handling, onboarding, talking about work beyond just one project. And that's kind of exactly what I got, was that you guys were right there and helping me along the way and giving me the knowledge that I needed to be able to feel confident with working with these clients and also delivering good work. So it was kind of a giant leap from kind of feeling scared and unknowing of what exactly if I could do this or not, to being pretty confident that I can do this, and not only a little bit, but I could do this for some big companies and some big projects as well.
You've gotten results, right? You're like, some of the work that you've put out has already made a lot of money for your clients.
Yeah, exactly. I've increased conversions through Facebook ads for one of my clients pretty significantly. And then another one is doing some testing right now. And I'm pretty confident with what's going to happen with that as well.
Awesome. And so last thing, what about like, how much work would you say this really took? How much time did it take? And like, what would you say to people who are worried about that part of it?
Well, at first, before I joined you guys, it was a matter of just kind of improving, and I wasn't exactly sure how long it would take. But then, honestly, within literally like 3 weeks, I went from like having no idea what I was doing to being pretty confident that things were going to work out pretty well. So in that aspect, it did not take a lot of time at all. In fact, if I hadn't have joined you guys, I think it would be, honestly, not even exaggerating, at least a year or more before I was able to actually be where I'm at right now, because you guys kind of already went through that, and you pretty much just give that knowledge away that would have taken so much more time had I not have joined.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And, it's cool also from our standpoint to, have, brand new success, and then be able to share that with someone and get them the same kind of success so quickly. So, guys, tomorrow I'm going to have a video where we're going to talk about sort of exactly how you can do this. And I kind of want to show you, the exact way that we go about getting these paid trials with high ticket clients. And also, you guys have been sending me some questions, and thank you, by the way, for that. I want to do a little Q&A tomorrow where I'm going to answer a lot of those questions. So make sure that you check that video out tomorrow. And also, if you have not registered yet for our masterclass on Thursday, definitely do that. Hit the link below, register. That class is called How to Instantly Get Paid Trials from High Ticket Clients Without a Portfolio, without case studies, and without working for free. And again, that masterclass is completely free. And if you attend live, you're going to get a call script. It's one of the exact call scripts that I've used to close high ticket clients, but you have to attend live for that. And that is this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I can't wait to see you guys there. And again, if you haven't registered, click the link below to register for that masterclass. And Ryan, great to talk to you as always.
Thanks, Josh.